Yo, 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 welcome to Pitch Report. I'm Mario.
And I'm Amilcar. How you doing today, Mario?
Doing well, doing well. I can't believe the World Cup is basically here.
I
I'm
know it's
excited.
crazy. It's everything we've been waiting for, and then some.
Yeah.
This year was it a longer wait time or was it less wait this time because it was a
In our
January World?
lifetime, I want to say it was shorter because we had to wait more for the 2022 one. So technically, we waited like 3.5 years
Mm-hmm.
or so. So,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like that's what it was, but I think it also came quicker. I think because we've been seeing things for the US since the US is hosting. I feel like we've been seeing stuff everywhere, especially in LA, right? Like
Yeah.
just things for the World Cup and like SoFi and whatnot. So I feel like it's almost been here for the past like 3 months already, but it's about to finally officially start, which is exciting.
Yeah, and it's going to go longer than usual too with the added 12 teams. Is it 12? 16 teams. So it'll be the longest World Cup. I think we'll get over 100 and something games. So
I
it'll
think
be
it's like
pretty cool.
104. But
Yeah,
is it longer in terms of weeks as well?
I think so. Yeah, I think it goes a full month. Let me see. World Cup dates 2026. The World Cup will go until, actually, it's not telling me. So it starts June 11th and it ends July 19th. So yeah, almost.
Wow. So it's like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Good
crazy.
good thing there hasn't been any complaints about players playing too much professionally.
Oh man, I know. I saw something about that, and especially all the young players, because a lot of teams aren't really gonna have a break. They might have a couple weeks off, if that. Because I also wonder, a lot of teams do like that U.S. tour, like club teams do the U.S. tour on like as a preseason. But I wonder if they're just gonna scrap that and say, let's just wait until the actual season starts.
Yeah, at least Manchester United just announced their like summer tour, and it's all in Europe, I want to say, and like no US stops, which makes sense. Like we're getting like the marquee soccer event in the
Yeah,
US, so I think that's why.
yeah. I wonder if they're even doing that this year because it's usually I feel like around that July, maybe August
Yeah,
time frame.
yeah. So I think probably not.
Yeah, hopefully not. For the players' sake, have a couple
Yeah.
weeks off, especially the people that go into the final, right? Like
Oh yeah, dude. Oh
because the 19th of July and then probably starting up in August again, have a couple weeks off. And if it ends up being France that makes the final, like there's a lot of French players on PSG that played the final of the Champions League and then basically had what, oh, not even a week off, and they're already in like the concentrations here, and then now going to the final. That's a lot, man. A lot
yeah,
of soccer being played.
yeah. Totally.
But speaking of finalists, we may as well just jump into Group J, finalists, I should say, last year's finalist slash champion, Argentina in Group J. So we have Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. Mario, what are your initial thoughts on this? Obviously, we have the champion from last year, but probably in a very maybe different light this World Cup. What are your thoughts on Argentina?
Yeah, I mean they're ranked number one based on the like latest FIFA rankings. I do believe that, or it's been proven that the team that wins usually struggles when they come back from the or like their next tournament afterwards. And
Mm-hmm.
I could totally see that happening to Argentina. I mean, you shouldn't doubt Messi. He is one of the GOATs for a reason. But I don't know. I think Argentina's not going to have like the deepest run in the tournament compared to a lot of other, I think, stronger teams. But I mean, as far as this group goes, I think they won't have a lot of trouble winning the group, though. What about you?
Do
Do
you,
you think?
do you have them as like a big like crashing out early, or just like you don't think they're going to live up to the expectation, which is probably what, like semifinal, quarterfinal, depending on who they run into?
I mean, yeah, I both. I don't think they'll live up to the expectation, and then yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find my bracket what I had them doing. But yeah, I don't think I have them going too far. Let's see. In
Well, while
my
you're looking at that, I'll kind of give you my things. I think I agree with you. I think Argentina. This is like very top heavy. I think it's Argentina and then everyone else. Austria has some solid players, solid team as well. One that I think might be a sleeper in this group is Algeria. We can see Mahrez on this photo. But I think they might kind of surprise some folks. I followed them a little bit in like the African Cup of Nations because Zidane's son plays goalie for them. So he's the starting goalkeeper for Algeria. So it's kind of neat to follow them, and they had a pretty good African Cup. I think I want to say they made it to like either the semi or probably the semis, I think. And Zidane had a ton of like a bunch of clean sheets. So they played tight defensively, don't allow a ton of goals. Obviously, against Argentina, it's probably not going to really matter, so to speak. But I'm thinking more of the games against Austria and Jordan, so they might be able to fight for that second seed.
Yeah, I do think believe I have them as a maybe third place team. But to see that son, I actually didn't. I knew he played goalie, and I know his other kids are field players, or at least two of the other ones are. But I didn't know he was like World Cup good, or that he was playing this World Cup. I think I just found out yesterday. So it is pretty cool to see a Zidane like back in the World Cup, I guess.
yeah, it's like same but different, right?
I mean,
but yeah, no, it'll be a fun group. I truly think it's going to be probably Argentina's to lose. And for my sake in Spain, I hope they win the tournament, or not win the tournament. Sorry, win the group, because we play. If Argentina gets second, they'll play the first in Group Group H, which is Spain's group, and the second plays the first. So like Argentina is likely to play this either Uruguay or Spain in the next round, which is a scary matchup. As much as I think Spain can beat Argentina, it's still scary to see a good team like that so early. And even for Uruguay too, like I guess I should say, from Argentina's purpose, playing either Spain or Uruguay is not ideal for the game right after the group stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually think I have them playing Uruguay in the round of 32. And answering the question of how far I actually had them based on my FIFA bracket, I had them doing well for most standards, which is in the quarterfinal. For Argentina, I think probably not making it to the semis or winning would be a failure for the fans. But I actually have them in the quarterfinal against Portugal. Which, imagine that. What a treat. If we get a Ronaldo versus Messi in the World Cup.
That'd be a fun one, man. And I think they have both really good teams. Argentina's team is very similar to the one from the last World Cup. Obviously, they have some young guys that have kind of made a little bit more of their name in the national team now. I'm thinking like Simeone. I don't know if Simeone was really big.
I don't think he was
the last World Cup, or maybe he was on the bench or something. But I feel like he's blossomed a lot with Atletico, and playing much better now. So like that. But then Portugal, I think, is obviously just a star-studded team, and we'll talk about them. But yeah, Argentina's team is very similar, and I think usually. And I know Spain struggled with this too. I feel like usually teams stay together for one World Cup too long, I feel like. And then I think this may be the World Cup where they kind of stick a little bit too long. The only saving grace I would say is if they kind of like there's like a changing of the guard to like Julian Alvarez and like all the other younger players to kind of like take the torch and not rely on the older players, because you could still have them on the team but have them play a lesser role. So I'd be interested in how they're going to play going forward, because all the friendlies they've played for the past year or so have been all super easy friendlies. So I don't think they've actually really even been tested since Copa America.
Yeah, and I mean, they played a good Copa America and they ended up winning. So they've been winning those tournaments. But yeah, I don't really recall seeing any like very big groups. They did dominate their qualifying. They were, I think, like 8 or 9 points over Ecuador. So they did cruise through it. But even then, and maybe I'm relying on previous experience of other countries too much. But Germany was like on a tear when Mexico played them in 2018, and then eventually Germany crashed out. But basically, they were coming from a stage where they looked unbeatable. I know this one hurts a little, but Spain too. They weren't looking too bad. They won the Euros like 2 years before, so similar to Argentina, who won the Copa America. So I'm very curious to see what happens with once they get to like once they actually start playing. Because I think the team's getting a little older. Players are still really good. They do have like Julian Alvarez, who's amazing. But I'm curious to see like Rodrigo de Paul, who's been now playing at MLS for like a year and a half. To Messi's got is Messi. He's got magic. I think Messi knows how to play, how to conserve his energy, and how to like have his moments of brilliance. So I think do well, but I don't think they're going to challenge further than the quarterfinals.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they have a good warm up. I hate to say that, but for like the group in the group stage, before you start talking about like the very, very competitive games that they maybe haven't been tested in a while. So to see how they actually pan out.
Yeah, and on that note, it's like you're mentioning, it's a favorable draw. That I think if you're looking at this as an Argentinian fan, the draw's not terrible.
Yeah. Do you want to show our what we had them ranked? I did a last minute change when we were talking.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I talked myself into a change on mine. So
Okay. Well, let me refresh it then.
okay.
Okay. Let's see what. Let's see.
All right. Sweet. Yeah.
Okay. You still
I had
have them finishing at
Austria
the top.
originally.
Okay.
Beat ahead of Algeria, but I talked myself into swapping it, and mainly it was just reminding myself of how well they did in the African Cup, and kind of reminding myself about that. And this was one of the ones where I think I was swayed originally by the name Austria more than the play,
Yeah, totally.
So that was kind of my thought there. But I think we both have Argentina at the top, anyways.
Yeah, and I mean, Mahrez might still have some magic. I'm a big fan of him from his Leicester City days. So yeah, I think it'll be a competitive group. I actually believe I have this group having a third place team going through. So I could definitely see Algeria in the next round. Jordan will be tough. I don't know if they'll get any points. But all in all, I think it'll be an interesting group, at least for the 2 and 3 spot.
Yeah, totally. You want to move on to Group K?
Yes. Okay, so if you've been watching our coverage of the different groups, even like the Argentina one, you'll notice that Group K has a different graphic, and that's because all the other graphics I got from the FIFA website. Thank you, FIFA. And for some, it's like their header graphic for each group. For some reason, in the FIFA website for Group K, it's just a picture of Ronaldo. Like that's it. And I thought it was a bug. I thought like there was something wrong. Maybe there was like other pictures I could move through. It's literally just a picture of Ronaldo on the field. So I mean, if that tells you, I think if FIFA wanted Messi to win the World Cup in 2022, I think FIFA would love for Ronaldo to have a deep run. I mean, it's Ronaldo, it's Messi. They're the faces of global soccer, have been for the last 10, 15, 20 years. But yeah, so that's why this graphic is different than all the other ones.
No, totally. And I mean, in this group, we have Portugal, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. I'm surprised that they didn't have like Luis Diaz or James or something, at least them for Colombia to have another face on there. But like you said, I mean, maybe we now know. But no, we can't say that, because then, if Portugal for some reason wins it, then it's going to be the whole same thing Messi had, where he got helped and all that stuff. So can't put that in the air.
Yeah, at least not yet.
Yeah, totally. So what do you think? Who do you think is Portugal's biggest competitor here?
Definitely Colombia. Colombia has a really good team. Luis Diaz has had an amazing 2 seasons, or recent seasons, last few years. He had a great season at Liverpool, leaves Liverpool, goes to Bayern, has an amazing season. He's a really fun team to play. And I also saw this team play with a lot of heart in Copa America. They made it to the final, lost to Argentina, I think. Maybe it was like 1-0. But
yeah,
they played
it was a late goal.
Yeah, it was a really, really well played game. They went toe to toe with them. So I think for sure Colombia. It's going to be, I think, a pretty tight race between Colombia and Portugal, and to see who can actually win this group. For Democratic Republic of Congo and Uzbekistan, I would give Congo a slight edge. Uzbekistan, I believe, is a first-time player, participant in the World Cup, but they are coached by the guy that's holding the trophy, like the Volca Navarro, I think, from Italy.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, yeah. He came in recently to coach him.
Well, you know they're not going to win the World Cup then, just based off of him not being not being Uzbek.
Exactly. Yeah. What about you though? How or who do you see being like the biggest challenger for Portugal?
Yeah, I think here it's pretty obvious. I think here Colombia is going to be probably the only challenger to Portugal. I kind of like this for Portugal though because they'll be able to get tested a little bit earlier on, which I don't see that as much in the Argentina group. Portugal's team is just absolutely stacked. I think it was the last handful of World Cups. It's been Ronaldo and company, and now I think and maybe not as much last year, but there was still a lot of names that were really young and people that just hadn't quite made it yet. This year, the team is just it's absolutely
It's
stacked.
insane. I think after France in terms of like stacked level, I think it's Portugal and then maybe
Yeah, like on
Spain.
paper, 100.
Yeah,
percent I mean,
paper.
you have
Yeah,
the PSG midfield, PSG
yeah,
defenders, like the champions. You have the Champions League winners. Half the team is there. The other half has won the Champions League with Man City or Ronaldo. So they have a
yeah.
stacked team. Um, if any year for Ronaldo for this to happen for Ronaldo, it's this year. I mean, this is the year. This is the team. He has the supporting cast. I would venture to say like there's no excuses, for him this year. I hate to put pressure on that because it's a lot of pressure to say win a World Cup, because it's just like even with the perfect team, there's so many variables that happen, But I think if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen this year. Don't see him playing another World Cup. I think I saw something that he hasn't ruled it out, but he doesn't give me the vibe of a player that's gonna come off the bench or just play like, you know, a role that's just more mentorship role than being like I'm the goal scorer here.
I was pretty certain he wouldn't play this World Cup, or
Yeah,
I thought there was a good chance. Now, the way he takes care of himself, I think if he decides, hey, I want to play the World Cup for my country, which is in 2030 when they're hosting,
true.
I could see him doing it. I could see him just being like riding the bench the whole time. That'll be a conversation for 4 years, for the next 4 years. But I also agree that it's his best chance to win it this time around. What other team do you think has been his best World Cup team that he's had in the past?
I think his was it 2006
Yeah,
when it
okay,
was
that's what I was thinking too.
Figo and all like that was
Yeah,
also a super stacked team, but
Figo,
it was
Deco.
very top heavy. I would
Yeah,
say now it's very balanced. Like
yeah.
it's a very very balanced. Like from the back to the front, there's just studs everywhere. But yeah, that 2006 team was also just unreal. But I think that the only issue there was Ronaldo was way too young. I think if he was 2010 Ronaldo with that team, I think that would have been a very different story.
Yeah, totally. And that's the young piece that you mentioned. I think this team has a really good balance. Like most of the core, like their stud guys, even though they're young, they're pretty experienced. They're like seasoned in the sense of like like playing in big games. Most of the even young guys have been playing for a good time, like in like these types of competitions. So I do think this is like the best team in chance he's had. Um, and this is actually I put Portugal winning the whole World Cup. Part of it's more maybe desire than actual like full logic if you look at like the favorites like Spain, France. But I think this is a really, really good chance, and I hope they can make a run to I don't know, at least the semis.
Yeah, and something crazy that we saw. I don't know if you saw the friendly with Portugal. I think it was Chile, where Rafa Leao like punched a guy in the face, and
No,
I got like
what
a straight red card. Yeah, it was nuts. He got like a straight red for like straight up punching
he
someone in
actually
the face.
swung at him?
Like swung at him, yeah. Like
No
they got into a
way.
fight and he swung at him. But I just looked it up right now. But they were saying that the friendlies don't carry over into like official tournaments. So even if he's
Okay.
suspended, he'll be suspended post World Cup for other friendlies and not for the World Cup itself. But Rafa Leao, another huge name, hasn't played so well in the last maybe 6 months, but also another huge name up.
Oh, wow. Okay. Dang, that's insane. I mean, hope Hopefully, yeah, we don't have any more Zidane situations or anything like that. Like, it just sucks when you see like a really good player kind of get taken out of like the tournament for like a dumb reason. It is funny though, like a Luis Suarez biting some Italian guy's elbow and things like that.
Or like sticking his hand in, right? For like
Dude, that was like the big, oh man, what a villain or genius, depending on who you
yeah,
ask.
right. But all right, let's move into the what we had our rankings here.
Okay, let's see.
I didn't make any changes here, so we're good.
All right.
All right. Very, very similar. We both have Portugal, then Colombia, then the Democratic Republic of Congo, and then Uzbekistan. I think we've talked ad nauseum about Portugal. Colombia, I think, is easily the super, super strong runner up here. And we'll give anybody that's in the first place a run for their money. So I think that them getting second place here is scary for whoever's first and wherever they have to play.
Yeah, I agree. And we'll see what James can do too. He tends to be a player that plays really well for the national team. And the World Cup is a national team tournament. Wait, why do you say that?
Well, because the reason Real Madrid signed him was because he had a
Oh,
amazing
yeah.
World Cup,
That's
and then he
true.
played fine, but he was never again that player. But now he doesn't really have a team. And he played for Minnesota for a little bit, but then, I mean, maybe he played a couple of games. So, and then he went straight to say, "All right, I'm just going to start training for the World Cup." So maybe better, maybe worse.
Yeah, I'm at that age. Maybe it doesn't hurt too much to have more rest. Which also
Right.
just, I guess, last point on Ronaldo, the fact he's like 41 and right now we're talking for players that are 33, 34. Oh, it's probably their last World Cup. It just goes to show the level that this person that I don't even know if he's like full human is like able to play at. So just
Hey, we know
extra
he likes
kudos.
records, man. So maybe he wants to play a seventh World Cup.
Yeah,
It's either
that'd be
him,
insane.
Memo Ochoa, and I think Memo Ochoa is probably done. And Messi, right? That could potentially go for a seventh.
Yeah, maybe Gilberto. No, yeah, Gilberto Mora maybe.
Oh yeah, 17. Yeah.
Yeah. You never know.
All right. Let's
Okay.
go to the next and final group. All right. This is Group L, which we have strong group, really strong group. England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. Right off the bat, group of death is what I'm thinking, just based off this strongest group. It could go any way, right, Mario?
Absolutely, yes. I think, yeah, by just at a quick glance, yeah, this is the hardest group for sure. There's like one strong favorite maybe in England, but all the other teams have played pretty well. I mean, Croatia's the team that's they've done nothing but surprise people, at least me. 2018, like what an amazing run to make it to the final. Like that would show the team just willing it into existence.
Mhm.
They just wanted it so bad. And then 2022, I'm like, okay, no, there's no way they can run it back. They freaking go to the semifinal again. The way they took out Brazil, insane team. Ghana, I still feel like the soccer gods owe them some sort of justice for what Uruguay did to them in 2010. Also, really good team. Oh, we have Nico, Iñaki Williams is playing with them.
Mhm.
And then Panama. This is a team where I was very impressed with. I'm sticking in the theme of like heart, but like with how much like heart and rigor and like that dedication they played in like the Copa Oro, or maybe it was the CONCACAF Nations League, but they played really well. And I think that they could be a team that puts up a fight.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back to where you're saying like England is the strong favorite. It's interesting you say that because I agree with you, but I feel like in the last probably 3 World Cups, I think we've said maybe not three, at least the last 2 World Cups prior to this one, we've said England was a favorite or England was like one of the stronger teams, and they've disappointed every single time. Like, what do you see from this team, Mario? Or do you see anything from this team that makes you think that this is going to be different than what we've seen in the past, the disappointments?
I see Harry Kane coming off a monster season. I think if he has a really good run with England and he gets a good amount of goals, he could secure the Ballon d'Or in this tournament. So I'm seeing that. I'm seeing national team where the players, for the most part, they're coming off like being in really good positions, like in their respective teams, and coming off like pretty good seasons. So I think it's a pretty balanced team. I'm just looking to see how well they can play together. Like they had a Japan loss during a friendly that was a little concerning, but I feel like this could be the time that they really bring it together. They were semifinalists in 2 Euro Cups recently. I mean, you saw when they lost to Spain. So I don't know. I feel like this could be the tournament where it actually comes home.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think they're with Thomas Tuchel, once again, not English, so who knows? Based off of no foreign born managers winning it. So that's not helping them. But he also has some interesting picks. I think there was a lot of people that thought like Trent Alexander-Arnold should have been picked. I think Cole Palmer didn't get picked. So they had a lot of
Harry
big
Maguire.
names. Yep, Harry Maguire. Yep, your boy. So I think
Phil
there was a
Foden.
lot of. Was it Phil Foden too?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of really big names for a coach that just took over from Gareth Southgate less than a year ago, or about a year ago ish, to make those huge calls. It's either going to blow up in his face and like you needed those talented players, or he's building something completely new where it's like I'm building a system where I want players to fit the system, not fitting my system to the players. You know what I mean? So that might be what he ends up doing there, but I don't know. It's questionable, I would say, for a lot of those names that he left off.
I mean, it also shows like it's I think a problem you have, like if you're the Spain coach, the Brazil coach, the England coach, you're gonna have a lot of really good players. And yeah, so yeah, I think it does depend like to your style, like you're mentioning. I don't know. I think for me, the Harry Maguire one hurt just because I see him play often, and I feel like he can be pretty clutch, and he was pretty good for Manchester United this year. And Manchester United had a good season, so it would have been nice to see him playing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's unfortunate, but let's see if it pays off for them. Yeah, let's chat and see what we had our rankings, Mario. All right. Well, almost exactly the same this time. So we have I have England, Croatia, and then Ghana and Panama, and you have England, Croatia, Panama, then Ghana. What makes you think Panama was going to be able to beat up Ghana? First question, and then second question: do you think this is a third place team that goes through?
I for sure have this group as a third place team. But I think the challenge just might be that it doesn't always mean that a team with like 4 good teams, they might
exactly. That's probably the worst thing because then they beat each other up.
Exactly. So sometimes you could have like one strong team and then 3 teams, and then they distribute points a little bit like more favorably to 3 of the teams.
More like the Argentina group.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. Something like that. So we might actually see like weaker third place teams go through, where you could have had a stronger third place team like come out of here, but it actually doesn't happen. But for me, I just thought I'm getting the tournaments confused. It was either Nations League or Copa Oro. Panama just played really well, and I know at that tournament, the U.S. was kind of figuring some things out, and
to say the least.
Yeah, but I just really like the way they played. Their captain, we see a lot, Aníbal Godoy, Samurai, at San Diego FC. So I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to channel like positive vibes or will it into existence that we have like another CONCACAF team having like a decent run. And this is maybe, I think what it is, it kind of reminds me of Costa Rica in 2014, where they had, I believe, England, and I think it was like in Italy and some other team, and Costa Rica topped the group and won. I don't think that's going to happen by any stretch of the imagination this time, but I do see Panama like being the underrated team, because I think if you're England, Croatia, and Ghana, you're worrying about, obviously you study all the teams and get ready for all the games, but I think Panama is the one that you're maybe not paying as much attention to, and I think they can surprise you. What about you? What made you have Ghana over Panama for this one?
Honestly, I think it's probably more of the experience. I think Ghana's played the last handful of World Cups. They've played decently well. They also like really, really quick, which I think is going to be huge, especially playing against England and Croatia, being fast on the wings, and being able to take the game to them. and that's a big thing for some of these players or some of these teams. Because sitting back and just kind of waiting for the game to come to you works sometimes until you give up that goal, right?
Yeah.
And against England, against Croatia, I don't think you can play that way. I think you have to go for the game. And I think that's where Ghana might be able to excel, and that's kind of why I had them above Panama.
Yeah, I think from a physicality standpoint, like a speed standpoint, I would definitely see or have Ghana having advantage over Panama there. So that, and I will say this is the kind of like quote unquote risk of putting Panama over Ghana that I feel like could maybe come back and bite me the most. So we'll see how this ends up playing out. I feel like I was gonna bring up another point, but I guess maybe not.
No, and this is the last.
Sorry, I did have one more thing. Okay, sorry, I just came back. So Croatia, 2022 Magic semifinal, 2018 even more so. Do you think they're going to have a good run? Because we both haven't going through at this point, or do you think it's gonna end basically?
I don't think they'll have a run all the way to the semis or the final. I think there's way too many good teams. I mean, granted, there's been great teams every time. Like you said, they beat out Brazil. They beat out amazing teams every time they're going through. I just think Modric was a big reason for the last two World Cups. Like as like a floor general midfielder, he keeps getting old. It's kind of a Ronaldo story. It's like you think he's done, you think he's done, you think he's done, and then he just like does some crazy outside of the foot assist, and you're just like, how the heck did he do that? And you're like, and why is he still doing this? He had a very solid season at Milan this year. So I don't know. You hate to think that he's done, but my thought is like he probably can't carry a team like he used to. So I don't think he'll make it that much further. I would have to see who they're potentially playing the next round, because they're going to be playing likely a first place team. But now with all the third additionals in there, I kind of don't know how those
actually I think I'm like super confused with how it works now too. But from what I've seen, at least the Mexico group, if Mexico got second, they would play a second place team. And I believe that's the same case here. I think they would play a second place team because I'm looking at my FIFA bracket and I have them playing Colombia, who I believe we just talked about being second in their group.
Yeah.
But I have them losing to Colombia actually, and then Colombia playing Spain.
Yeah, that's a very evenly matched game.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's gonna be a very, very exhilarating game, exciting game to watch. So I mean, yeah, if you have against Colombia, I could see them potentially beating Colombia, or like, I mean, it would be like by one goal, like 1-0, 2-1, extra time, maybe penalties, like it'll be a very, very close game. But yeah, so I guess I also say like, no, I don't see them, especially if they have Spain potentially the game after that. I really don't see them getting past that. But then again, we've said that every World Cup for the past 2 or 3, and they keep proving us wrong. So we'll probably likely be wrong again.
And the Milker has any team playing Spain as that being the last game they play.
Exactly. Yep. Seeing as they're going to be the champions this year, so I know we'll go with that. But anyways, well, speaking of, since we're already done with all of our predictions for this, let's do kind of like the big ones. So Mario, who do you have as your World Cup champion?
I've spoiled it already, but I have Portugal going all the way. I think I have them basically. I think the semis being Spain, France, and Portugal, England, and then I have Portugal over Spain.
Okay.
What about you?
I have same final. Funny enough, I have Portugal against Spain, but I have it going the other way. I have it going Spain's way, so Spain beating Portugal naturally. I think I might have the same semis as you as well. So yeah, that's who I have. Who do you have as your potential top scorer?
Oof, that's a hard one. I put Harry Kane actually.
Harry Kane. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you said you had England going to the semis?
Yes.
Okay. Well, which makes sense. You have to have a team or a player on a team, either A, that goes to this like the semis or more, or now with this new group stage has potentially some teams that they can score 3, 4, 5 goals against, because now anything can go if you're playing, an you're overmatched on a team. I have Mbappe. I think Mbappe, because I think France is going to go far. I think they're a super, super great team. They have an amazing midfield. They've played together for so many years that I think they have just unreal chemistry. And so I think that Mbappe is going to probably be the top scorer. Who do you think is going to be what do they call it? The Golden Ball, which is basically just like the best player of the tournament?
Ooh, that one could be a surprise. I want to give it to one of like the youngsters. Sticking to the like theme of maybe France having a good run, like a Doué or Olise. I think someone from France might actually get it.
Okay. I have
What about you?
Lamine Yamal. I think he's got so much hype behind him right now. I think if he does anything, basically, people are drooling. It's kind of like the Messi hype and the Ronaldo hype, where it's like it could be a routine header, and then people are like, "Oh, best goal of all time, crazy! No one could ever do this again." Like it could be like a penalty kick, and it's just like the nicest one ever done.
I mean, yeah, he is pretty amazing. I'm curious to see how he comes back from like his injury.
Yeah, I saw that he's already training with the team, so he might actually be able to play on Monday, and play the first game.
Obviously, I'm not in the locker room. I don't know how he's doing, but I would just rest him.
Yeah,
not start him,
especially
at
because they
least.
don't have a really big game until Uruguay, which is the last game.
Exactly.
But then again, you also don't want a rusty player to come in playing at the end. So I think, yeah, definitely, I would say take caution. But I think if he does what he can do and what we've seen him do with Barcelona, whether he's overhyped or not, I think maybe that hype will help him win that award. Especially, I think if obviously if Spain goes to the final or wins it, I think he'll definitely get that award, especially because they'll have beat out France.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's interesting because I'm trying to leave room for like surprises because there always is like one or two, but I feel like I'm picking all like super predictable things right now, because even like in the semifinals, if you think about it, there's always like one team that you wouldn't have thought would be there. So I'm like thinking what player could maybe just have like a breakout. Maybe like a Quiñones could be like a Golden Boot from Mexico. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's played a really good year in Saudi Arabia, so maybe.
Yeah.
You never know. It all a lot of it depends, like we said, on who you play on your way to however far you get, right? But for Quiñones, you gotta assume that Mexico is going to make it to at least the quarterfinals, right? For him to have a chance to get the Golden Boot.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, for young players, maybe Julian Alvarez too. Maybe.
Yeah, I just think it's hard to have a player on Portugal or on Argentina not named Messi or Ronaldo, just because it's kind of like their team,
Yeah.
So I feel like it's very difficult, barring them winning the World Cup or going to the final or maybe something like that. That helps them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Dua is a good one. It's like, I mean, he's played really well. Olise is also just
he's been
unreal.
amazing.
So, yeah, exactly. So anyone on that France team, which makes me think like, man, maybe that Mbappe take isn't that great just because of how good that team is and how the goals are going to be kind of spread out.
But they score a lot, so I feel like there's enough goals to go around.
Yeah, and I guess you can't just crash on Mbappe knowing that you have other people on the wings, right?
Yeah. Okay, and then who's going to be the best goalkeeper?
Best goalkeeper. Oh, see, this one's interesting. I mean, I think if you were to ask me who the best goalkeeper in the world is, I would say Thibaut Courtois.
Yes.
Do I think he's going to win best goalkeeper? No, because I don't think Belgium's going to make it far enough for him to be seen as the best.
And it's also like it's an individual award, but it's also like how well does the team defend in general? Like what's their style of play?
Yeah, if you're getting 20 shots on goal and they score 3, it doesn't matter if you have a great game. You're still going to be looked at as you gave up 3 goals, right?
Yeah.
I would venture to say like France doesn't have a great goalkeeper. Pickford, no. Argentina, I don't even know if Dibu's gonna play. He like has broken fingers, right? I really hope he doesn't do anything because I can't stand him. Yeah. Oh my god, he's like the most annoying like cocky, which whatever, he won the World Cup and he's a great goalie, so I can't, talk too much smack, but like he just rubs it in your face.
Yeah, he does.
So I'm going to say Unai Simon, assuming that Spain picks him. Or whoever the Spanish goalkeeper. I mean, they have 3 studs. It's either Unai Simon, David Raya, or Joan Garcia from Barcelona.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with either of them. So I think either one of them, whoever that is going to probably play the best. I also think the team is really, really good, and they play possession football, which usually means not a ton of goals against, which is helpful.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I guess it'll also depend if they go to like penalties and things like that too.
That is also true.
Yeah.
Who do you have, Mario?
Oh, I was thinking maybe Alisson has a good World Cup.
Brazil?
Yeah, for Brazil. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Brazil's a team that's like been talked about a lot, but also not been talked about a lot.
Yeah.
It's like kind of an interesting dynamic with them.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, their group is on the easier side, so it'll just be like in the later stages how they end up doing. But I think the defense is a little older. So we'll see. We're just guessing anyways.
I mean, ultimately, yeah, it's kind of like what thoughts we're having. The last one is going to be, who do you think is going to be your biggest disappointment before we finish?
Oof. Okay, so for me personally, it was Canada 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say Argentina. I think they might not do as well as people might think.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're assuming that people think they're going to go to the semis, final, do something like that, and so even a quarters run for them probably isn't going to be too great for them, right?
Yeah, and a potential dark horse could be France. I've
really
been hearing that there's some like maybe it's just drama or it's being made out to be more than it actually is, but that there's some locker room challenges with Mbappe,
Conte, all those guys. Yeah.
So I could see them defeating themselves, honestly.
Which is what we said. That's the only way that they're going to lose is if it's from within because their team is so good. My disappointment, I think, is actually be England. I think
really
people think they're going to go to the semi, the final, win it. I don't even think they're going to make it that far.
So it's staying far away from home.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone's been saying that for a while, right?
Yeah.
That it's going to come home, but I just don't see it. And maybe it's just the history, maybe it's just the coach, the team just being kind of maybe disjointed just because they haven't been playing together for that long. Because a lot of the players that were playing aren't on the team anymore. So I think there's a little bit of that, and then just I feel like England plays with a ton of pressure because every World Cup they're supposed to win it. And it's supposed to come home. And then so that pressure ends up crumbling them. Before, I would say Harry Kane couldn't handle it because at Tottenham, I think he had that pressure too, and he wasn't able to suffice. Now, maybe some of that's off of his shoulders just with Bayern actually being able to win some trophies. But I still think England's probably going to be the biggest disappointment. I don't see them getting to the semis or the final.
Well, actually, that's a good point. For Harry Kane, I think the confidence is probably at an all-time high individually, and I think there are some players that have had recent success. I mean, they play in big clubs, but like even Bellingham's won two Champions Leagues. Is it two or maybe one? He won
one.
Yeah, one Champions League. You've seen like Marcus Rashford just won La Liga, had a good season at Barcelona. So I do think as a collective, they're having. I don't know. I think the confidence might be a little bit better. So I think they might have the actual like mental forte or personality to actually rise to the occasion. So that's so I might disagree with you on that one.
Yeah, well, I guess only time will tell, Mario. In 5 weeks, we'll be sitting here and we'll be able to recap and see where we messed up and where we actually got. But obviously, stick around with us. We're going to be looking at all of these games. Going to have sorry, I'm just like totally blanking.
It is late at night. We're recording this later. We're balancing.
Yeah, it's like almost 11 o'clock. It's like past my bedtime, so my brain's like barely functioning. But I was saying, sorry, we're gonna have a match analysis, either every day, every other day. Gonna try to keep up with it. Talk about the goals. Talk about the expectations. Kind of round by round coverage on what we see, what our expectations are, what ends up happening. So stick with us if you want to kind of continue hearing our takes. Hopefully they continue being good, and all the random BS and soccer adjacent stuff we talk about for this entire month.
And if you want to talk to us, ask us questions or anything, you can reach out to us at _pitch report, preferably on Instagram. We don't really check X, but if you reach out to us, we will respond.
Totally. But I'm really pumped for the World Cup to start, Mario. I think we've been planning this it's crazy to think that last World Cup we did a podcast, and now it's 4 years later and we're doing it again. But I'm super excited, man. I'm so pumped to be able to watch soccer every day, basically from now until middle of July. So it'll be nice to be able to work from home and just have like the screens in the background.
And at a good time of day. We don't have to wake up in the middle of the night or super early or go to bed super late.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. It's going to be so perfect. So yeah, like I said, stick with us. I'm pumped for this. Super excited to start the coverage. World Cup starting soon. Yeah, and that's all we got for you today. Tune in for the next episodes that we got coming for you guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.